Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Welcome once again to the greatest technological disaster since the Microsoft Zune. This is, in fact, GainerWorld Live. My name is Tim Gainer. Thank you so much for joining me. I certainly do appreciate it, as I do every single week that we come out here and we just swap tales and have some fun and just enjoy a good joke, a couple of news stories, a little bit of music. And just think of me as your captain of fun on the good ship comedy. Anyway, glad to see everybody here this evening. If you are new to our little get-together, mainly what we're doing is, right about here, is what we're doing. We get together, we have every once a week, actually, on Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And, we have people come in and they talk to us in the chat right there. You don't have to worry about over there. Oh, no. We bring it right to you right there. That's the kind of people that we are. And if you're watching the replay, you didn't miss anything. It's all right here. This is where it's happening. Ask Elena. Elena will tell you she is there, which tells me one thing, that the Danimal, oh yeah, he's there too. Not a problem. Amu City Games is sitting here telling us the same bat time, same bat channel. You better believe it, pal. And don't even get me started on Julie Newmar and those spandex. Anyway, we're here. We're glad that you're here too. And yeah, lots of things going on this week. But as always, we've got to give the usual shout out to our pal Cyrus Gray over at Hugs 24/7 Radio. He is going to be doing the top 10 count. He's doing double duty again tonight because that's the kind of nut that Cyrus is. He's doing the top 10 countdown as well as the Hugs Shockwave. All the new entries to the Hugs Top 200. That's going to be coming on right after this show, as a matter of fact. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, over at hugs at WRGG.com, HUGSATWRGG.com. That's where it's happening. He's going to be doing the top 10 countdown along with the Hug Shockwave. So you definitely want to join him for that. MU City said, whoa. What's up with your neck? No, dude, no, it is not a hickey. I almost put a Band-Aid on this, but then that would have made it even more obvious. I cut myself very badly shaving yesterday. I mean, like, dug the blade into my neck. What did I tell you about groupies? Don't tell me you got attacked by the plaster casters. No, they have enough, thank you. Yeah, I stopped them at 6. I'll let you make up your mind on 6 what. But anyway. So yeah, that's what's happening. Multiple spots, it appears. Yeah. It wasn't good. It really wasn't good. When you're in a hurry, I can't do it like I used to, where you can get up and get dressed like the fireman. You know, you get up, drag the razor across your face, throw a clean shirt on, your cleanest dirty shirt, and blast out the door. You just can't do it anymore. These blades are getting a little too sharp. So yes, this is what Amu City is talking about. So everybody can gasp and go, oh my God, what's Tim up to? It's a shaving. It's a cut. It's all it is. Just a cut. I'm fine. No, it's not hickeys. I should be so lucky. Elena's like, hickeys? Really? Oh, what? Like you never gave one? I'll let you explain your way out of that one. Um, so yeah, that's what's going on there. Lots of cool stuff happening. And yeah, we have, later on this evening, if you are an artist, if you're an animator, a creator, MU City saying the best hickeys are given in places not seen in respectable company. Define respectable company. It's a teenage thing, not a 60-something thing. You don't know that. You don't know that, young lady. Just because you don't feel that it's, that you feel it's beneath you. Come on now. This is 2023, girl. Anything is possible. And I do mean anything. But anyway, little sister has popped in from the sea. Oh, yeah. Always good to see you, little sister. Thank you for popping in as always. It's a primal thing at any age. There you go. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you, MU City. At least somebody's in my corner on this one. If you are an animator, an artist, anything of that nature, we have a very special announcement that's going to be coming up a little bit later on in the show, courtesy of Pink Floyd's Nick Mason. So you're going to want to stick around for that, as well as other cool things that we've got lined up. But right now, as we always do at any given point during this week, whenever the situation calls for it, yeah, I think you know where I'm going with this. It's time to check out this week's Deadpool, kids. Let's get into it if we can. You may not know that face. You may not know that face, but you know his playing. He is one of the great sax players, not just in rock, but in jazz, but mainly in jazz as well. Wayne Shorter passed away yesterday at the age of 89. What career this guy had. He apparently died yesterday morning in L.A. Shorter's rep confirmed to Rolling Stone. No cause of death provided. But Blue Note Records, his longtime label, said in a statement Thursday, and this is a quote, "Visionary composer, saxophonist, visual artist, devout Buddhist, devoted husband, father, and grandfather Wayne Shorter has passed away at the age of 89, departing the earth as we know it and embarking on a new journey as part of his extraordinary life." And he was surrounded by his family at the time of his transition. The quick answer to your question, MU City, we will get to in a minute. But yes, he did play with Miles Davis. I think the question here is, who didn't he play with? He just won a Grammy recently for live at the Detroit Jazz Festival. He played with everybody. In fact, Herbie Hancock, one of his closest friends, had gone on to say that he said in a statement, quote, "Wayne Shorter, my best friend, left us with courage in his heart, love and compassion for all, and a seeking spirit for the eternal future, where he was ready for his rebirth. As it is with every human being, he's irreplaceable and was able to reach the pinnacle of excellence as a saxophonist, composer, orchestrator, and recently composer of the masterful opera Iphigenia. I miss him being around his special Wayneisms, but I carry his spirit within my heart always." Blue Note President Don Was saying, in quote, "Maestro Wayne Shorter was our hero, our guru, and our wonderful friend. His music possessed a spirit that came from somewhere way, way beyond and made this world a much better place." Amu City is asking in the chat if he played with Miles Davis, and the quick answer to that question is yes. He played with just about anything that Davis did. He was on Kind of Blue, In a Silent Way, Miles in the Sky, Nefertiti, and easily the best jazz rock album ever produced in modern times, Miles Davis's Bitches Brew. That, good Lord, who was not on that album? But yeah, he played on that as well. It's one of my all-time favorites, to be sure. He also formed Weather Report with Joe Zawinul, that is, in 1970. Of course, Jaco Pastorius, the late great Jaco Pastorius, playing in that band as well. Heavy Weather, Mr. Gone, just some of the titles that they did. Over the course of his career, and this is really kind of interesting to me, that Wayne won 12 Grammy Awards, starting in 1979 for Weather Report's 830 album, and most recently, as I said a minute ago, the 2023 Grammys for live at the Detroit Jazz Festival. He won a Grammy in the Best Improvised Jazz Solo category. He also had worked with other people, Herbie Hancock, Branford Marsalis, Kamasi Washington, Terrence Blanchard. Here's something I'll bet you never knew. He also had worked with rock people as well. You may not know this, but he also played the sax solo in Steely Dan's Asia. That incredible jazz solo. In Asia. That is Wayne Shorter. He also worked with Joni Mitchell on the Mingus album. He won the Kennedy Center Honors. He was part of the Kennedy Center Honors in 2018. Just an amazing man. He also won a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award that year as well. So yeah, just a really sad loss if you're into jazz music. One of the masters is totally gone. Wayne Shorter, unfortunately, gone at the age of 80. Carl Keegan asking, I'm here for the obituaries. Well, you got here at the right time, Carl. You really did get here at the right time. And Amy said I forgot about Weather Report. I'm gonna have to dig out I Sing the Body Electric. Yeah, I would totally recommend that. This also just came in. I thought this was gonna be a quiet week in the Deadpool report, but unfortunately that's not the case. This just came in an hour before we went on the air. You may or may not know that face. If you do, you're as shocked as I am. If you're not, you know his guitar playing, and you know his sound. David Lindley, longtime member of Jackson Browne's backing band, one of the fixtures of the LA recording scene, died earlier today at the age of 78. A source close to Lindley confirmed his death to the LA Times. No cause of death, but a fundraiser to cover medical expenses from an undisclosed illness had been set up earlier this year. So apparently David had been sick for a while. This is another one of these people that you don't really know him, but you know him. He was prominent in Jackson Browne's band, played on the For Every Man album, Late for the Sky. You also know him on the Running on Empty album. Yes, that is David Lindley singing Stay at the end of the Loadout, Stay. Yes, that's David Lindley singing that. He also played on Linda Ronstadt's Heart Like a Wheel album. Warren Zevon's debut album. He worked on records by David Crosby and Graham Nash, Rod Stewart, Ry Cooder, Jason Isbell, who today tweeted out, and this is a quote from the LA Times, "The loss of David Lindley is a huge one. Without his influence, my music would sound completely different. I was genuinely obsessed with his playing from the first time I heard it. The man was a giant." He was incredible, and he also had his own band for the longest time. You might remember a band called El Rayo X in the early 80s. He kind of extended the instruments. According to the LA Times, he accumulated all manner of string instruments from around the globe. He said he had no idea how many instruments he could actually play, often specializing in finding distinct sounds in kinds of cheap instruments often professional players would avoid. Again, he just one of those guys that just was really, really responsible for shaping the sound of, shaping mostly the West Coast sound in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, kind of sad. He was on the Holdout album. He did a bunch of stuff for Linda Ronstadt, Hard Like a Wheel, Prisoner in Disguise, did the Simple Dreams album, played on Stewart's Atlantic Crossing album, and Night on the Town. He produced Warren Zevon's first album, and he also played on Ry Cooder's Bop Till You Drop album in 1979. So, yeah, it's really sad. Really sad. His last solo album, Big Twang, was released in 2007. So, yeah, it's really kind of a drag that this has happened. He was lived in Claremont. He's survived by his wife, Joan Darrow, and their daughter, Roseanne Lindley. So, yeah, unfortunately, another influencer kind of gone away from us. David Lindley, gone at the age of 78. That'll do it. That's enough for this week's Dead Report. Let's get out of here. They're dropping like flies. Please, God, stop taking our heroes. Stop taking our heroes. No one saw, I guarantee no one saw that, either one of those, on their Deadpool cards. I almost guarantee that. Carl is asking, one day I'm going to come in here and find myself on the dead list. You've been saying that for years. I don't want to hear it. One that you may want to put on your Deadpool list. I don't wish these things on anybody. I really don't. I just go by what I read. But another one that you may want to update real soon, unfortunately, sadly, is that of Tom Sizemore. If you haven't heard the news, he suffered a brain aneurysm last week. He was at home last Saturday in L.A. about 2 a.m., according to the Associated Press. And according to the folks at CBS News, Sizemore collapsed. He arrived at the hospital. Doctors had found that he'd suffered from a brain aneurysm that occurred as the result of a stroke, according to his manager, Charles Lago. And at the time, it was what they were calling a wait-and-see attitude. Well, in an update provided on Monday, Charles Lago Tom Sizemore's manager, issued a statement saying, and this is a quote from CBS, Sizemore, that there is no further hope and that they've recommended that they make an end-of-life decision. That's really sad. That's really sad that such an amazing actor has to end like that. The family is now deciding end-of-life matters with a further statement that will be issued next Wednesday. They're asking for privacy in the matter. They wish to thank everyone for the hundreds of messages of support and prayers. It's been a very difficult time. This guy, again, he's one of those people that just have an amazing resume to him. He was in Saving Private Ryan, Black Hawk Down. He was on Twin Peaks for a little while. But he has been in critical condition, in a coma, and in intensive care. So, sad news to report for Mr. Tom Sizemore. And if you're a fan of that kind of thing, update your Deadpool cards, kids, because, yeah, it's getting pretty interesting, and it's only March. I'm just saying. And then we also had, and I don't have the details on this, but apparently Bruce Willis isn't doing that much better either. There was a picture of him on one of the social media platforms out in, he's walking around outside, and even everybody that has commented on it went, he looks so confused. He looks so incredibly confused, like he doesn't know where he is. You know, and this is the guy that gave us Die Hard. You know, Carl saying Bruce didn't look too bad in a cap the other day. Yeah, no, you know, there's the picture of him on the beach where he's looking pretty good, but that one that was released the other day. Yeah, that's not the Bruce we know. That's not Bruno and the Whalers, man. Mm-mm. And it's really kind of a sad situation to watch. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. I was watching Death Becomes Her the other day. He's in it. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's in all kinds of cool stuff like that. So, but yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Things turning the way that they're turning. Oh, Carl, don't even get me started on Moonlighting, dude. Don't even get me started on Moonlighting. One of the greatest shows in the history of television. You can't kid me. That was one of the greatest shows ever. Him and Sybil Shepherd hated each other. I don't know about that, because I saw the roast of him, the Bruce Willis roast on Comedy Central. And Sybil did a pretty good job. You know, if it was just professional, then yeah, I can see where that could, you know. Yeah. But, yeah. What can you say? What can you say? It's getting to that. It's getting to that point. But I tell you what, was Al Jarreau the theme singer? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Al Jarreau. I think he was trying to avoid Lockjaw, if you ask me. But haven't done this song in a while. Felt the need to do it today because of all the news that we've been getting. The changing of sunlight to moonlight, reflections of my life. Oh, how they fill my eyes. The grievings of people in trouble, reflections of my life. Oh, how they fill my eyes. All my sorrows, sad tomorrow, take me back to my own home. Oh, my crying, feel like dying, dying. Take me back to my own home. I'm changing, arranging, I'm changing everything. Oh, everything around me. The world is a bad place, a terrible place to live. Oh, but I don't want to die. All my sorrows, sad tomorrows, take me back to my own home. Oh, my crying, feel like dying, dying. Take me back to my own home. Lord, how I wanna go home. All my sorrow, sad tomorrow, take me back to my own home. All my crying, feel like dying, dying. Take me back to my home. Marmalade, 1967, man. Reflections of My Life, former #1 hit for them. I'm Terry Steele, Power 102.7, man. Let's see. MU City was asking for the Kings. This beat goes on and switch into Glide. I wish I knew that song. I really do. I love that song. Songs, however you want to look at it. Al's been dead since 2017. Carl is referring to Al Jarreau. Yes, we know. I'm dead. And Elena's saying one of my very favorite songs. Thanks, Tim. You are welcome, Elena. It is one of my favorites, too. That is for sure. We have a special announcement here. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with some news. You wanted the best. You got the best. Only they're crap. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Nick Mason of Pink Floyd, and March 2023 marks the 50th anniversary since the release of our album, The Dark Side of the Moon. Pink Floyd has had a history of collaborating with up-and-coming filmmakers since our early days. In many cases, the visuals that accompany the songs have become synonymous with the music itself. Which is why we would like to invite animators of all styles to enter a competition to create a music video for any song on the album. The band would like to give an opportunity to all, students or established animators, a chance to innovate and present a fresh visual interpretation to the music on the album. There are prizes for the best works, and there's a deadline for submission by the end of November 2023. The competition will be judged by a renowned panel from the worlds of film, animation and music, and we look forward to seeing your submissions and celebrating with us 50 years of Dark Side of the Moon. Good luck. And by the way, to enter your film, please read the terms and conditions carefully, or your submission will not be accepted.
Thank you, Emu City. Actually, people rather prefer me that way. So as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, don't delay, do it today. Go to pinkfloyd.com/competition to find out more about getting your submission in to have a visual aid, as it were, to Dark Side of the Moon. And I'm reminded of a couple of things. I was reminded of a couple of things when I got that yesterday. And that was number one. Is it me? Is it me, or when there's dirty work to be done in the press, Nick Mason gets to do it these days? You know, Gilmore obviously has more money than God, so he doesn't care. And it's not like he can get Rick Wright to do it anymore. And Waters isn't even in the band. So yeah, Nick's the only one left. That's the way that is. But I like this idea. I like this idea of them doing new videos for some of their movies, or for some of their albums. They, one of my all-time favorite movies, one of my all-time favorite concert movies, is Pink Floyd's Live in Pompeii movie. And I have found out over the years, as a matter of fact, my son Jim pointed this out to me, that movie really is a work in progress. Because there's like 4 different versions of that movie that are out. And all of them have different or additional footage that has been submitted by either the director or other people that were involved in the project over the years. So it's really a lot of fun that they're continuing in that vein, that they're continuing the advancement of art and music together. Because let's face it, I mean, these guys, if it wasn't for bands like Pink Floyd, art and music really wouldn't be where it is. They were part of that psychedelic vanguard of experimentation in music that I've always loved. I mean, I'm a prog rocker from way back, but if you really go back, in fact, case in point, earlier today, somebody on YouTube was talking about the Beatles' Revolution 9. And they were talking about how terrible a song this was, and my God, why did they let John Lennon put this on the album? But you've got to remember that was 1968, and if really looking at it in retrospect, it really was no different than anything that Syd Barrett and Pink Floyd weren't doing already in the studio across the hall from them. So, really, it's all art. Music is art and art is subjective. I've always said that. And so, be that as it may, the fact that Pink Floyd are carrying on like this, I really do appreciate it. Go to pinkfloyd.com/competition and see if you're good enough. Amy City's saying, I'm looking at the terms and conditions right now. There you go. See? Somebody getting involved in it already. You should be involved in it too. Are you an artist? Are you a videographer? Are you a graphic designer? You may win fabulous prizes. Probably just like an autographed copy of Echoes or something. No, I'm kidding. No, if this gets back to Gilmore or Mason, no, it's. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm sure there'll be great prizes. Speaking of prizes, and speaking of music, and things that go bump in the night, once again, we have news from the folks at CBS. Carl wants to know, will a salesman call at my door? No salesman will call or visit. Amy City is saying that there's over 200,000 pounds total in cash prizes available. That's pretty cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Do Floyd even speak with each other? There's been a few times that Roger Waters and David Gilmour have actually appeared on stage together. In fact, the last tour that Roger did for his last tour, which of course he does stuff from The Wall and Animals and things like that. But David showed up and played on stage with him, so you got to love that. Their Dublin concert was slated. Okay, I have no idea what that means. That's Irish slang, Carl. You're going to have to let me in on that one. Speaking of concerts, the folks at CBS are telling us that you will have one last chance because they had no communication with each other. Okay. You will have one last chance to see the greatest band in all the land. Yes, you heard it here first. Kiss have announced their final tour ever. This is the end of the road tour. This is it. Kiss are calling it a career. And this time, no, they're not kidding. The North American leg. Carl wants to know, how are they alive? Excuse me, they are alive too. They have two. Do they have 2 or 3 live albums out? I know of the 2. I think there may have even been a third, but I'm not sure. But the North American leg of the end of the road tour is going to be kicking off in Texas in October and is set to conclude with back-to-back shows. Where else? In New York, with 2 shows in Madison Square Garden on December 1st and 2nd. there was an announcement today on Twitter where they just said simply, announcing the final 50 shows, the end is here. Join the KISS Army for access to the final End of the Road Tour pre-sale tickets. Pre-sale begins March 6th. Pre-sale begins Monday, March 6th at 10 a.m. local time. General on sale begins March 10th at 10 a.m. And you can visit KISS online, in the KISS online for all the dates and the details. Gene Simmons said on Wednesday that, and this is a quote, KISS was born on 23rd Street. It's only taken us 50 years to go to play the final shows 10 blocks away on 33rd Street, which is Madison Square Garden. He said that on the Howard Stern show the other day. Paul Stanley had also told Howard, does anybody listen to Howard Stern anymore? Seriously, since he left terrestrial radio, I mean, I know the guy's making a truckload of money over there, but is anybody listening to him? Seriously. I want to know. If you still listen to Howard Stern, let me know either in the chat or down below in the comments. We will answer you, by the way, if you're watching the replay and you mention something in the comments, we will answer you eventually. But Paul Stanley told Howard that this is really the band's swan song after people questioned the postponement of the farewell tour, which had been delayed 2.5 years because of COVID. Yeah, and they kept mentioning, this is it, this is it, this is it, this is it. I remember and I still have it. There was a special called KISS Behind the Makeup. And Gene Simmons, back in 2000, Gene Simmons was talking about a farewell tour, a retirement tour, even then. So how do we really know that this is the end? Well, according to them, this is the real deal. This is the dealio. General on sale begins March 10th, 10 a.m. local time. And, yeah. I'm going to be going about it. I don't see any dates for Chicago as of yet. If they come up, we will definitely keep you abreast of that. But definitely, that's what's going on. So there you have it. It's the end of the road. The final 50 shows for KISS. They go on sale March 10th, Live Nation. But here's my thing, and Ricky's come in from Lost Pages. Ricky, always good to see you, man. I like that. I like original KISS. Peter Nace made them their sound. Yeah, I got to agree. I have to agree with that one. I don't know. Bruce Kulick's been doing a pretty good job with them. Tommy Thayer. I think they're doing fine, quite frankly, because those are tough shoes to fill. Let's face it. But yeah. Now there is something. As long as we're talking about the final KISS shows, there's something. I'll be honest with you. I don't care. I don't care, and I'll tell you why. But before I do, I have a question for you. I'm going to read a quote. And I'm going to wait a few minutes, and I want you to tell me either in the chat or in the comments down below who said this. Here's the quote. I have a problem when you charge $100 to see a live show and the artist uses backing tracks. It's like the ingredients in food. It's the first ingredient on the label is sugar. That's at least honest. It should be on every ticket. If you're paying $100, 30 to 50% of the show is on backing tracks, and they'll sing sometimes they'll lip sync. At least be honest. It's not about backing tracks, it's about dishonesty. Now I'm going to take a moment out here, like I said, and I want you to tell me either in the chat right here or the comments down below. I want you to tell me who said that. They said that in an interview. I'll take a moment out. It's very important that that we all find out about this. And I'll tell you why in just a second. Carl says Milli Vanilli. No. I understand why you would say that, but no. Okay, time's up. Let me repeat the quote one more time, and then I'll tell you who said it. I have a problem when you charge $100 to see a live show and the artist uses backing tracks. It's like the ingredients in food. If the first ingredient on the label is sugar, that's at least honest. It should be on every ticket. You're paying $100, 30 to 50% of the show is on backing tracks, and they'll sing sometimes they'll lip sync. At least be honest. It's not about backing tracks, it's about dishonesty. MU City says Ashley Simpson after the SNL thing. No. Ricky is saying Paul Stanley. Ricky, I'm going to give you the door prize because you are the closest. The person that said that was, in fact, Gene Simmons. Now, here's where this frosts me. MU City's late to the show. He's like, I'm guessing Gene Simmons because we're talking about Kiss and it involves money. Here's the thing. This is the reason why Kiss should retire. And they should have retired years ago. I'm sure you might have seen this on YouTube. It's all over the internet. But there was a time, and they still do it, and I'm wondering if they're going to do it for this last tour, where Paul Stanley's voice is so incredibly shot that they used backing tracks. They used lip syncing. This is what I'm about to show you, and I'm only going to show a few minutes of it. But this is a clip, and there's witnesses to this, by the way. Eddie Trunk, one of the great metal critics of our time, actually witnessed this behind the soundboard of a Kiss show. This is the actual ear monitor recording from Paul Stanley. This was being sent to Paul Stanley's ear monitors during a show in Osaka back in, I think it was 2011. I'm not going to say anything more than that. Just check this out for yourself.
Here's a song from the album Destroyer.
2019. By the way, check out how shot his voice is just talking.
That this song asks. The question is, do you
drums? 1, 2.
Do you like
1, 2, 3, 4. Intro verse. 1,
Wow.
2. 1, 2.
You really like? You like the way? You like my 7-inch?
Pre-recorded vocals from Paul.
I know you too.
He's
All
lip
of the
syncing.
shows, right? Do you love me?
All three of them are now lip syncing.
Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you really love me? You like a credit card, you got it play.
All three of these voices are lip synced. These are all pre-recorded vocals. I can't watch that anymore. I have a problem when you charge $100 to see a live show and the artist uses backing tracks. It should be on every ticket. You pay $100, 30 to 50% of the show is on backing tracks. It's not about the backing tracks. It's about dishonesty. Are you kidding me? Now, granted, this has been going on for a while. We all know this. But that right there, if that isn't a blatant disregard for the audience, you know, I understand. I'm not a complete prude. I'm all, you know, if you need to use lip syncing sometimes, you know, there's certain shows, okay, Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, you know, people that do a lot of movement, a lot of dancing, you may need a backing track. I get it. You're dancing. You're winded. It happens. People had been complaining for years that Paul Stanley's voice was shot. You can hear it in that introduction. You can hear it. That his voice is just gone. But no, let's pretend that we're the loudest band in all the land. You wanted the best, you got the best. Problem is, it's on tape. So my question is, and I'm not completely out of, I don't think I'm completely out of line here when I ask this. I would like to know if they're going to use backing tracks for this final tour. I don't think I'm asking a lot, Gene. Am I asking for too much here, pal? Huh? Didn't you say yourself it's not about the backing tracks, it's about dishonesty? You're paying $100 with 30 to 50% of the show on backing tracks and they'll sing sometimes? Are you going to do that on this tour, bud? Why don't you let us all know? Little truth in advertising. You said so yourself. I'm sorry. You know, at one time I loved Kiss. I used to love them. I thought their first two albums kicked ass. Yes, I said ass on YouTube. Their first album, Black Diamond, still blows my mind to this day. Cold Gin, unbelievable. Hotter Than Hell album, Going Blind, don't even get me started. Love that song. But and this goes to the argument of you know, people talking about bands that should retire. Kiss should have retired back in 2017. But I guess it's about the money, isn't it, Gene? It's not about the lip syncing. It's about the dishonesty. Ain't that right, Gene? You should say 30 to 50% of it should be on the ticket that they may or may not sing. Right, Gene? You said so yourself. So you're going to cash in one last time? Is that what this is all about? Screw the people giving you the money? Screw the music lovers? Screw the people that brought you here for 50 years? Let's see. Amu City is answering the question. He's like, yes, they will. They got busted last year in Belgium with missing cues to match the backing tracks. And he's even asking, wasn't their first farewell tour back in 2000, 2001? Yeah, it was. Like I was saying earlier. If you go back and watch a documentary called Kiss Behind the Makeup, they talk about their career, and then they talk about the fact that in 2000, it was going to be their last tour. And even Gene saying, Mr. It's About the Dishonesty is saying, nope, this is our last tour. There'll be no more after this. I have the video. In fact, before next week, I'm going to find that video and I'm going to cut that clip out. And we'll let everybody see what Gene was saying back in 2000 about the so-called farewell tour. And this is, Ricky's got something he's got to say here. Gene was the guy that said the fans had ruined the music. I remember watching him say that in Family Jewels. Anything that Gene Simmons said in Family Jewels was for the ratings. We all know that. Okay? That whole thing, that whole episode, that scandal with his wife, Shannon, that was scripted, dude. That was scripted. They had to create controversy to keep the viewers happy. We all know that. Gene and Shannon are happy as pigs in slop. We all know that. So, the whole wedding thing, no, that's not true. The missing cues, the backing tracks, not true. The farewell tour back in 2001, it's not true. But it's all about the dishonesty, isn't it, Gene? Is this what you're doing now that you're, now that everybody's onto you? You're going to take the money and run? Rock and roll answer to Jimmy Valentine. Yeah, boy, people are proud of you. Well, good luck on the $35 million that you'll make on this tour. It's the last time you're ever going to make it. Or is it? That being said, let's start shutting things down. If you want to go see Kiss, hey, go ahead. Don't know what you're going to get. They might just put a boombox in the middle of the stage. Who knows? Tickets go on sale March 10th. Live Nation. Don't know anything about a Chicago show. Don't know anything about a Pennsylvania show. We do know that they're wrapping up for 2 shows in Madison Square Garden on December 1st and 2nd. Probably burn the place to the ground, which would be a lot of fun, quite honestly. But hey, that's the way that it's going to be. And I want to thank everybody that's been hanging with us over the course of the last hour and over the course of the last couple of years. You guys have you guys make the show. You really do. And I really appreciate it. The fact that we can have some fun right about here and over down in here. That's what this is all about. We let our hair down and we just say hi and we joke and we talk about stuff and just kind of forget our cares for an hour. And we're going to do it again next week. That's right. Why? Because we can. And that's the last 4 letters of the word American, I can. So that in mind, thank you very much for joining me. I certainly do appreciate it. We will be back next week. We'll all be in our places with sunshiny faces. This has been GainerWorld. My name is Tim Gainer. Don't forget Cyrus Gray, hugs at WRGG.com, HUGSWRGG.com, HUGSATWRGG.com. The top 10 countdown coming up right after this. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. My name is Tim Gainer. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like the show, like, subscribe to all that YouTube stuff. In other words, if you like it, hey, you know what to do. We'll see you next week. We out. Bye.